Do you know what makes a younger man slowly lose interest in an older woman? It's not her age. It's not her looks. And it's definitely not her past. What really destroys that spark is something quieter, something subtle, a shift that happens in the way she shows up. It's not dramatic, but it changes everything. If you've ever felt a younger man connect deeply with you, only to watch him grow distant without explanation, this truth will open your eyes. Because what pushes him away isn't time, it's energy. You see, younger men are drawn to older women for very specific reasons. They're captivated by confidence, by calmness, by that quiet power a mature woman carries when she's comfortable in her own skin. But when that energy changes, when nurturing replaces mystery, when guidance replaces curiosity, attraction fades faster than you can imagine. Imagine this. You're on your third date with a younger man. The chemistry feels alive. You're both laughing, talking about life, maybe touching hands across the table. You feel that spark. Rare, exciting, real. Then he mentions a dream, something bold, maybe even unrealistic. Without meaning to, you respond with logic. You give him advice, or gently warn him about being practical. You think you're being caring, but he feels something shift. The energy between you suddenly changes. He smiles, but the spark in his eyes dims. And in that moment, he stops feeling desire and starts feeling something else. Something that reminds him of his mother, not in a literal way, but emotionally. The moment a woman steps into that teaching, guiding, managing role, the romantic connection starts dying. Not slowly, instantly, because men don't fall in love with guidance. They fall in love with how they feel when they're around you. A younger man doesn't need another person telling him what's best. He already has a world full of opinions, responsibilities, and expectations pressing on him. What he's craving is freedom, emotional freedom. He wants a woman who believes in him, who sees his vision even when it's messy, who adds fire to his passion instead of pouring water on it. But so many mature women, out of love, care, or habit, fall into the same trap. They become protectors instead of partners, and that kills attraction faster than age ever could. Let me tell you a story. Sarah, 47, had just rebuilt her life after a divorce. She met Jake, a 33-year-old entrepreneur with an adventurous spirit. The spark between them was undeniable. Jake was drawn to her strength, her sophistication, the way she carried herself with grace. But within weeks, Sarah began doing what felt natural, guiding him, warning him, helping him. When he talked about expanding his business, she listed the risks. When he mentioned working late, she worried about his health. Sarah thought she was being thoughtful, but Jake felt managed. He didn't need another voice telling him how to live. He needed someone who looked at him and said, "I believe in you." What he wanted wasn't a teacher. It was a teammate. And that difference is everything. Younger men fall for older women because they see something they rarely find in women their own age. Emotional steadiness. She's not competing. She's not chasing validation. She's not afraid of silence. Her presence feels grounding. But when that steadiness turns into control, even loving control, it replaces the chemistry with comfort. And comfort is the opposite of attraction. Now, here's what most women miss. Even if your advice is perfect, it still kills desire. Because attraction isn't logical, it's emotionally. It's not about being right or helpful. It's about how you make him feel. When a man feels like he's being analyzed or corrected, he stops feeling like a man. He stops feeling the charge, the challenge, the playfulness that keeps romance alive. Let's look deeper. What's really happening when you slip into that helping role? You're trying to make the connection safer, more predictable, more in control. But attraction thrives in the unknown. It needs mystery, discovery, tension. When every moment becomes a lesson, every story becomes advice, every dream becomes a discussion, the spark has no room to breathe. Monica learned this the hard way. She was 52, elegant, warm, and wise. She met Alex, a creative 36-year-old photographer. He adored her confidence. But when he started talking about quitting his job to follow his passion, Monica couldn't help herself. She warned him about finances, shared stories of failure, outlined backup plans. She thought she was protecting him, but he felt judged and small. Her care came across as control. The romance lasted a few more months, but the excitement was gone. You see, men don't fall for women who manage them. They fall for women who believe in them. And here's something powerful. You don't inspire a man by protecting him from failure. You inspire him by standing beside him as he dares to fail and try again. You don't make him feel strong by showing him how much you know. You make him feel strong by reminding him how capable he already is. That's the secret energy shift that keeps younger men magnetized. It's not about teaching. It's about trusting. Now, let's be honest. This nurturing instinct is natural. It comes from love, from empathy, from experience. But when you overuse it in a romantic dynamic, it becomes heavy, and heavy energy kills chemistry. Because love is not management. It's connection. It's curiosity. It's two people exploring life together, not one leading the other. Diana, a 49-year-old therapist, understood this after making the same mistake. When she started dating Carlos, a 33-year-old musician, she analyzed everything: his childhood, his emotions, his career, until one day, she realized something. He didn't need another therapist. He needed a woman who could laugh, who could listen, who could just be. So she stopped offering advice. She stopped analyzing. She started sharing her own stories instead of her insights. And suddenly, everything changed. Carlos felt free again. The spark came rushing back, because she'd stopped trying to add value and started adding presence. That's what younger men crave in older women. Not perfection, not wisdom, not strategy, but presence. When a woman is simply there, not fixing, not leading, not managing, her energy becomes magnetic. It's not her age that attracts him. It's her ease, her peace, her quiet confidence that says, "I'm not here to shape you. I'm here to experience you." That's the difference between chemistry that burns out and chemistry that deepens. Now, let's talk about the invisible habits that quietly push men away, even when you mean well. The first is emotional management. Older women often become so good at keeping things calm that they accidentally manage their partner's emotions too. When he's excited, they tone him down. When he's upset, they rush to soothe him. When he's dreaming, they inject reality. It's caring, yes, but it sends the message that his emotions need correction, that he's not safe to feel fully around you. The second is future management. When you focus too much on where things are going, setting expectations, timelines, goals, you stop living in the moment. You turn the relationship into a plan instead of a feeling. And younger men crave presence, not pressure. The third is comparison. When a woman starts worrying about younger women, making subtle comments or seeking reassurance, she shifts from confident to insecure. And that instantly changes the energy. Because a confident woman doesn't compete. She knows she's incomparable. Marcus once said about his relationship with an older woman, "I loved her confidence at first. But then she started doubting herself every time I mentioned a female colleague. I didn't want reassurance. I wanted her calm. That calm, grounded energy. That's what holds attraction. So what do younger men truly want from older women? They want emotional freedom. Someone who lets them be who they are, not who she hopes they'll become. They want energetic equality. A relationship where both voices matter, where both people lead and follow in their own way. They want inspiration, not instruction. They want to feel uplifted by your energy, not managed by your experience. They want authenticity. They want the real you, not the polished version trying to seem perfect. And they want partnership in adventure. Someone who explores, who plays, who's open to new things. Not someone who already knows all the answers. Grace, 51, understood this perfectly. When she met Anthony, a 34-year-old chef, she didn't offer business advice or career strategies. She listened. She shared stories. She laughed easily. Her warmth wasn't calculated. It was real. And that authenticity was irresistible. She wasn't trying to prove that age didn't matter. She was simply living her truth. And that made her unforgettable. You see, the secret isn't about trying to act younger. It's about becoming more fully yourself. When you stop performing and start being, everything changes. You don't need to compete with younger women because you're not playing the same game. You're playing a deeper one, a game of energy, presence, and connection. When a man feels that you're at peace with who you are, he relaxes. When he feels that you trust him, he steps up. When he senses your calm confidence, he feels safe to be passionate. That's what draws him in and keeps him there. So, if you've been trying to do everything right, trying to be the supportive one, the wise one, the guiding one, maybe it's time to stop doing so much and start being more. Because your greatest power doesn't come from your advice. It comes from your energy. It's the softness in your voice, the calm in your presence, the quiet confidence that says, I don't need to lead you. I just want to walk beside you. That's the kind of woman a younger man never forgets. Because it's not about age. It's about aliveness. When you let go of control and simply show up, radiant, open, and real, you become magnetic, not just to younger men, but to anyone who values depth, presence, and genuine connection. So take a breath. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to earn affection through wisdom or perfection. All you have to do is be fully, authentically you. Because when you live from that truth, your energy says it all. You stop chasing. You stop convincing. You simply attract effortlessly, and that, my dear, is the real secret to timeless attraction.